Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video where I have this blank sheet of paper and I also have all of these Ohuhu markers. So today I'm going to be creating a Christmas illustration for the season. Let's see what we can do. This video is just kind of a chill draw and talk video, so if you want to draw along with me, go ahead and get some paper, a pencil, whatever art supplies you want, and I'm just drawing a whole bunch of Christmas type of illustrations today and hope that they all go together somehow. As you can see, I am already struggling a lot to draw today. It's one of those days when you pick up your pencil and whatever you want to draw just won't happen for you, but I just kept on trying and I just tried not to take it as seriously and tried not to try so hard. And that seemed to help a little bit once I relaxed a little more and just decided to have a little more fun with it. So I started off with this first drawing, which I wanted to draw a little Christmas type girl. So I wanted to have a scarf, a sweater, those kind of vibes, and just kind of make it a little comfy, cozy atmosphere. Next, I moved on to this little section of the drawing and I wanted to make little gingerbread men, which I also had a difficult time drawing, but I finally got it right by adding a little line of symmetry in there. I also added some little stockings just to add even more Christmas vibes. This next one is really cute. I wanted to sketch in a little hot cocoa drink, so I drew someone holding the drink with like a sweater on, and then drew in little marshmallows for the hot chocolate. Next, I moved on to this upper box, and I wanted to put in some candy canes in there. I feel like those are super Christmassy and fun, so I drew my little candy cane heart design that I have been drawing a lot this season, and then I went ahead and moved on to the next drawing in the bottom here. I wanted to make kind of a little snow scene landscape with Santa on his sleigh and all of his reindeer, so I just drew that out. It's going to be a silhouette, so we don't need too much detail. Now it's time for a classic snowman, of course. I wanted to add him in there, nice and chill at the bottom. And then it's time for the tree. A Christmas tree, of course, has to be in a Christmas illustration, so this one was a lot of fun to sketch out too. In my opinion, sketching is one of the most important steps in drawing, but it is also like the most boring to me. I just want to add color, I want to add the final outlines, I want to skip to those gel pen details that I love so much. So sketching is sometimes really hard for me to focus on, but I really tried to focus on the sketching for this one since I knew how important it would be. So then I drew this little Christmas cat out and I couldn't forget those toe beans. And then after that, I decided to add this little quote at the bottom: "For unto us a child is born," since he is the reason for the season. So after that, it was finally time to outline everything in detail. So I tried to follow along all of the crazy lines that I had made and outline everything so that I could finally get to those beloved colored Ohuhu markers in the future. So for now, I'm just trying to take my time, outline everything, and really make it look perfect. I wasn't sure how much detail I wanted to give with the pen. Sometimes I go really heavy with the marker to add a lot of bold details and outlines, and other times I really want the color and the drawing to speak for itself, if that makes sense. So I was trying to decide how much emphasis I wanted the marker to have on the drawing, but then I just went ahead and decided to start by simply outlining everything and not going too crazy with any lines or details, just simply outlining everything before I went ahead in with my colors. So this was actually a really relaxing part to do. I do like the line art, but I definitely think my favorite part about drawing is the colors. So let me know what your favorite part is. If you like the sketching, the outlining, the drawing, the final designs, I like all of it, but yeah, I think colors are probably my favorite. But then I went ahead and outlined the little Santa sleigh and all of his 8 reindeer, which thankfully are side by side, so we only needed to do 4. And then I also outlined and finalized the quote as well. So here it is right now, and it kind of looks like a little bit crazy. I just have a whole bunch of drawings all over the place, so I want to kind of make them a little more cohesive with the color scheme that I choose. And then I also have some ideas and tricks up my sleeve to make everything come together a little bit better in the future as well. Now I'm finally going in with my Ohuhu markers. So I started off on this little picture in the top right, the girl with the Christmassy vibes, and I decided to make her blonde and have blue eyes. So that's what I started with first, after I added a little bit of blush to her face because, it's cold outside, it's winter. And then I went ahead and started working on her outfit. So for her outfit, I decided a blue sweater would be good. So I took a darker marker first and created some shading and lines in the art. And then I went ahead and added a light blue to kind of, fill the rest of the colors in. And then I decided to make her scarf a deep red color just to kind of contrast everything else and make it a little more Christmassy. But I didn't want to do like too bold of a red because I felt like that would kind of take away from the blue sweater and from the blush on her face. And then it was time to move on to this little cute Christmas cat. So I decided to start off by just kind of shading everything generically at first using a kind of warm gray color. And then I went ahead and added all of his little spots and designs that are unique to him, of course. And then after that, I colored in his little Santa hat red. And for now, I really liked how this guy looked, so I decided it was time to move on to the candy canes. So I decided to color in the candy canes classic red. I know they've got a million different flavors and kinds of candy canes now, but I felt like that would just be most classic and true to the vibes I was trying to go with. And then it was time to color in the hot cocoa drawing, so I drew in a gray sweater. I wanted to leave the cup white, so I also drew that in gray for some shading. And then it was time to color in the hot cocoa, which of course I drew in brown. And then it was time to move on to the gingerbread, which were also a warm brown. So this was a lot of fun. Just went ahead and did really basic colors and shading for now because I wanted to not make anything too crazy, so I still had the chance to kind of unify everything in the future. I drew out this stripe, which seems really random right now, but it has a purpose for later. And then it was time to work on Mr. Snowman over here. So I decided to make his scarf blue to kind of go along with the girl's sweater in the top right. So I felt like that would be a good way to kind of blend in those colors together. And then I shaded him also with a gray as well. And now it's time to work on this little Christmassy landscape drawing. So for this one, I went ahead in with this kind of muted sky blue color. Then I used another shade of blue to kind of create a base for the snowman that drifted into the landscape scene. I felt like that would be kind of a smooth transition that would unify those a little bit more. And then after that, I used my black Ohuhu marker to create all of those silhouettes that I wanted to put in the drawing before. So I made some little trees, and then I also went back over the sleigh and all of the reindeer to make them bolder as well. And now it's time to work on the Christmas tree, which just is, I love this one. I, of course, started with a shade of grass green to color in the tree. I just feel like this is a perfect yellow green to color in Christmas trees and Christmas green colors. And then I went ahead and colored in the garland that's wrapped around the tree. I just started with a base of yellow because I had a plan for it for later, but for now, simple is better in these beginning steps. Then I went ahead and colored in all of the gift boxes and ornaments on the tree. I decided to stick with the classic Christmas colors of green, red, and white for this one, just to keep everything a little more unified like I was talking about before, since there are just drawings all over the place on this paper right now. So now it was time to start working on that problem and try to unify all of the drawings on this piece of paper. So I had a couple of different ways that I wanted to do that. One was background, 2 was shading, and 3 was gel pens. So I started off with the first one, which is the background, and I decided to pick a blue color that was just kind of muted, that would just kind of, blend into the background, but add in a couple of details all over the page to make it a little more unified. So I added in snowflakes all over the background of the paper just to make it all have the same thing in different places. And then I also went ahead in with this light gray and added in shading to the left side of all of the images. I felt like adding in a little bit of shadows would also help to make it look like everything was supposed to be on this piece of paper, because right now it still just looks a little disjointed, but it's coming together a little more following these steps. So then the next thing to do was to add in some gel pen details. So I started in with the white, of course, to add in a little bit of highlights everywhere, and then also to add in some details to things, like I added in some snowflakes to her shirt, I added in some little polka dots to the cat's hat, and then I just kind of filled everything else in too. I worked on the background here. This was to kind of unify unified a little more too. If you look, there's a stripe in the top right and then a stripe at the bottom middle there, just to unify everything and add in the same pattern in a couple of different places. Then I went ahead and used the white gel pen to add in some snow, add in some details to the hot chocolate, add in even more details to the Christmas tree. You get the picture. So I really wanted to use this to unify everything and give it the same level of detail on every single drawing. And then it was time to go in with the gold. I wanted to keep this a little bit minimal, so I just used it on the tree and for the little buttons on the gingerbread men as well. And that was it. So now here is the completed Christmas drawing. I'm still not completely sure if it's all that unified, but I still love it and had so much fun drawing every single individual picture. I especially love the tree, the cat, and the Christmas girl. Let me know which parts of this drawing are your favorite. I had so much fun doing it, and if you drew along, let me know what you drew because I'd love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!